want to show you how I do Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. It's the perfect thing for hats, and I'm going to do it on my hat pattern here, which is called Another Way Beret. So I've gotten to the end of my last round of my hat. I'll knit my last stitch. This was in garter stitch in the round, so I was knitting around, then purling around. However, for Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, in this pattern, I'm going to bind off in knit and use her technique, which makes a beautiful edge too. So I'm going to knit the first stitch. Then I'm going to yarn over. However, and here's the key, it's not a yarn over like you're used to doing like that, right? Where you come to the front of the needle directly from the back. Not going to do that. We're going to go over the top of the needle and come down. So we have made that stitch. Let's see. Can you see it better that way? Here I was in the back. I'm going to come over the top and then to the back again. I think of it as a backward yarn over. All right, backward yarn over, knit the next stitch. Now we're going to take both that backward yarn over and the first stitch, and we're going to pull it over like you do in most bind offs. You pull a stitch over the other stitch. So what we're doing is we're pulling the yarn over and the stitch over the next stitch, and that gives extra room. So I'm going to do that backward yarn over again. I'm going to do it with my other hand just so you could see what's happening. Whoop, like that. When I'm knitting, I bring it up and over with my right hand. If you were a left-handed knitter, you do the same thing. You bring it up and over the needle. All right. So there's my backward yarn over. Knit one. Take both the yarn over, there's the yarn over, and the stitch, and pull it over and off the needle. 2 stitches have been bound off, and it makes this pretty little bump, which is why I wanted to do in this hat, end with a knit row, and then do the bind off as a knit bind off, because it's going to give me that pretty little edge. All right, here we go again. Over the needle, knit a stitch, slip both the yarn over and the previous knit stitch over the new one. And that's all there is to Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off. And it's very, very surprisingly stretchy and perfect for use on binding off at the top of socks if you do toe up, binding off at the brim of hats if you're doing top down, and anywhere you need a nice stretchy bind off. All right.